Hello again, all of you wonderful beings out there. All of you feeling beings. I am Razim, and this is part 2 of Ascent to Ascend Pathfinder Season 4, Episode 13, Carrion Call. Where we're now turning over to the twins, Bobcat and Caterpillar, who are currently sitting on the roof of the construction guy's, what was his name? Randall?
Oh, what?
Alan?
It was, I believe his name was Randy. I'm gonna double check.
Randy, yes,
Randy?
that sounds right.
I was about to say it's Randy, I think. I'll double check. Yeah, it's Randy.
That sounds right. But yeah, they're on the roof of his office or house or whatever the hell it is, currently waiting for him to get ready to start because they're excited for their new job.
Yeah.
I like their walk ethic.
You like them because they now you know that they can on demand make fortifications.
Actually, yes, they can. They can create a giant bridge in a matter of 6 seconds.
Well, Timble likes them for more reasons than that. Do you know how useful it would be to be able to be farther than yelling distance, but able to call in artillery?
Yeah, he only likes them for their abilities, nothing else.
You only like me for my DPS. And remember, Timber, all I need is a little gunpowder, and Rose can be a very effective artillery platform as well.
Well, that and the Void Beast is trying to eat you, so I might be using you as bait.
Oh. So I guess we're gonna be going to whoever that dude's comrades are.
Well,
The twins
it takes. I mean, we're gonna deal with the whatever the twins are getting up to first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying what we're gonna be doing when we get back to it.
All right.
Yeah.
Because if you want to skip ahead to when we later, obviously, if you're if there was any significant amount of transit on the road, Rose would have gone back to the ship to get gunpowder. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay,
all right,
carrying on with the twins.
Yeah. So, it takes like a little bit past sunup for the guy to actually get out of bed, get ready, and then sort of kind of look around for where his new business partners are.
Real quick, does he sleep in that same building?
Yeah, on the top floor.
Okay.
It's a 2-floor building. Bottom floor is shop, top floor is personal.
Is there a window into his bedroom?
No.
Okay. In that case, they are going to be hanging onto the front door, which I assume has a window.
Yes.
They're just going to be on either side of the window, hanging onto the door, looking in. Their tails swishing in unison.
All right. So, he sort of like comes downstairs, still getting the sleep out of him. And, starts setting up a couple things, turns towards the door, and then spots the twins just faces pressed against the window.
Yes, exactly.
All right. And
floating
he sorta-
between
he sorta,
them
like,
is one of
rubs
the
his
loaves of bread from a that they took from the ship.
All right. Yeah, and he sort of like rubs his eyes a time or two, and then inevitably decides that whatever he's seeing is like not like fake or a weird dream or something, and goes to open up the door.
Which they both scramble up to the top of the door and jump down onto his shoulders and float the loaf of bread over to him in front of his face. We brought you breakfast!
Oh, well, thank you. Wasn't expecting any breakfast, and he like sort of starts mumbling, grabs some bread, looks it over a little bit, and then takes a bite.
It's the most
You know,
fucking
this
delicious
is
bread
some
you've
really
ever
good bread.
had.
This is some really good bread. Where'd you get this?
Oh, somebody on our ship baked it.
Well, keep a hold of them.
Okay. And they jump off of his shoulders to start making their way back towards the harbor.
All right.
You're this is part of what you're paying for us for, right?
Well, it's. I assume you're saying that like in his head.
Yes.
Well, he
As
doesn't
they
really
stop
understand
right at
how.
the street and look back at him.
Yeah. He doesn't really understand how the mental part of that works. So like he says out loud, "No, it's a figure of speech. It means that whoever made it is worth a lot, and that you should try and keep them around as long as possible."
Oh. Okay. So what are we doing today?
Well, I accepted a rather nice contract that, some weird guy on the edges of, the outskirts of the town. Pays a lot of money for stuff, but generally it's a pain to get things to him. And what with all the trouble going on, he had some trouble around his house and wanted us to come and do some repairs. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna load back up the cart, go to the same quarry that we went to yesterday, pick up some stone, and then stop by a forester and pick up some wood. Then we're out to his place.
Okay.
I will say that I know this guy. His name is Jakovich, by the way. I know this guy, and he is very chatty. So if he gets going, it might be the best thing to just let him keep going and just kind of leave it at that.
Okay. So you want us to tune out his voice from your head. Got it.
Uh-oh.
He looks very surprised, and then sort of just kind of like takes it in stride and is kind of like, yeah, that might actually be worth it.
Oh, no.
And then he starts loading up some more of his tools like he did the other day. Gets onto his wagon and slowly starts to take off, heading right towards the quarry from yesterday.
And as they're headed, the twins are adding him to their collective.
All right.
Which only is a standard action, but
Yeah. So, gets to the quarry, it points out, a few more stone types. It's a different type of stone than yesterday, but, it's still just quarried blocks, which you guys can lift no trouble if you want.
They are very eagerly going to be just doing whatever they can to help.
All right, yeah. So, he'll point you out to all the different stones, and then, you quickly load up a good third of the cart. Much different than, the absolute chock full cartload that you guys did yesterday, but he did mention that you're going to a forester anyways. At which, he kind of checks over the stones and they're all satisfactory, all good. Pays the guy a fair amount of money, and then you take off to the forester. Where I'm not going to bore you with all the details, it's pretty much just the same process. Except instead of only having to move singular planks, you guys can move a whole lot of planks all at once.
Oh, yes. I mean, they can also very easily chop down trees as well.
Yeah. But then you'd also have to, you'd have to turn them into planks and everything. This is like a little forestry sawmill. So, they're able to turn stuff into planks pretty fast, but, they already have these ready-made, and they have them sitting out for a little bit, so there's no chance of them doing, additional warping. Which is good and important.
Prior to a random YouTube video last night, I wouldn't understand that concept, but now I do.
Oh, okay, well.
Wait, what?
Just in time.
I never understood the whole weathering of wood thing until last night. YouTube's like, here's a random woodworking video. I'm like, sure. And
The algorithm knows.
they were talking about that exact thing, and I'm like, oh, so that's what that's about.
All hail the algorithm. The algorithm.
All hail the
knows
algorithm
all.
and my extremely random, in-depth knowledge about things.
Yeah.
To be fair, this one's less random, because my dad is a foreman, so I have had to learn this shit, just by osmosis. But, hey, look, when I was 5, he was teaching me how to read building plans, so, I mean... Then again, he also sat me down at that age and quizzed me on every single NFL team, their name, their symbol, and what city they're from, so...
And thus the journey to become lawmaster began.
Yeah, well, I've only been picking up extremely random knowledge and compendium and, compiling it since I was 5. A little bit before that, actually, but, But yeah, so you guys pick up some ready-made, already weathered planks. And then head out into a winding trail into the forest. Now, when he said outskirts, what first comes to mind is obviously that, a little bit outside the walls in the woods. Apparently not, as this guy is, pretty deep into the forest towards the center of the island. And specifically, you start seeing some signs of, a logged tree here, a little bit of road maintenance there, until eventually you come upon a, just kind of like a full-blown mansion in the middle of the woods.
Oh no. My time in Minecraft has prepared me for this.
Yeah.
Sim game. The game
Yes.
that you should be thinking of is Project Zomboid.
Well, no, a mansion in the middle of the woods is a good thing in Project Zomboid. In Minecraft, it's a bad thing.
In Minecraft, it's the good way to get revive idols.
Anyways, back on track.
Back on track, yes. Alright. So, this very specifically is a rather nice mansion with, an outlying stone wall that appears to be damaged in a couple places, along with a rather nice, first floor made out of stone, on the outside walls. And after that, it's wood all the way up. There's a good amount of floors to this place, but what really catches your eye is the extensive amount of like meat drying racks and hunting racks and tanning racks and all that are just around. Like there's a lot of strung up food that's currently either drying, being made into jerky. You actually see a smoker as well that it's a little bit crudely made, but it's entirely workable. It seems like whoever this guy is, he absolutely is a really big hunting buff. And your guy goes ahead and sits down the cart in a rather nice place next to one of the breaches in the walls. Pats himself down a little bit, sort of shakes himself off after a long ride, and then starts walking up towards the mansion.
The twins are riding on his shoulders.
And now, again, I'm just gonna say, he's gonna get going the moment that we come in and start talking in order to figure out what he wants. We're gonna need to figure out what he wants and then completely ignore him like the rest of the time. That may seem a little bit overkill, a little bit like it's not exactly needed. Trust me, I definitely feel like it's needed.
Oh no, we understand entirely. Our captain likes to ramble on about stuff involving the Empress. We tuned him out pretty well.
Oh well. Then I guess you're well and prepared for Jakovich here.
You know,
And,
it's all fun and games until you open the door and Jakovich is Domino.
Hello, darlings.
Darlings. But yeah, so he goes up, knocks on the rather nice door. Go ahead and roll me a perception check real quick, though.
Man, too bad I can't Game Boy King influence this and make it Domino just because he shit talked the influence.
All right. So what you can notice with your perception is that it looks like there's also some damage to the main mansion, specifically on the lower floor, where it's supposed to be stone. Looks like around one of the windows. And yeah, so after the knock, it takes a minute, but then eventually you hear from the inside, "Go ahead and come in. Yeah, come in." And you see Randy kind of take a fortifying, steadying breath before opening up the door and walking inside to a barricade and multiple ballistas pointing at the door, with a rather scruffy mountain man looking guy manning one of the ballistas and with a rope on another ballista.
The twins are immediately the twins are immediately pulling the bolts off of the ballistas. Just yanking them up into the air.
Hey, give me back my ballista bolts. Come on.
It's just a force of habit.
He's gonna try and snatch one of them back.
They lift it up higher, and they lean forward, both of them on either side of Randy, being like, should we?
Look, just give Jakovich back his bolts. He's not gonna do anything.
They're just going to drop the bolts right in front of Jakovich onto the floor.
All right. Jakovich is gonna scowl and kind of like mutter to himself and like reload the bolts back into the ballistas, but like step away from like the firing mechanisms. All right, what are you here for? And it takes Randy a second because he's just he looks like how like when the day has just started and you're already done with it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
that's Randy right now. And he sort of goes, "I'm the construction guy that you hired to come out today. The guy that you wanted to come fix your fence. Well, I guess it's technically a wall, and around the house a little bit. Remember, you paid me a lot of money already." And Jakovich is just like blank face. And then eventually he finally recognizes it, goes, "Oh, yeah, you, yeah. Sorry about that. I've been a little bit on edge ever since, all that them there scary night happened where all that stuff was coming in trying to get to me. And then, like something eventually gets in and you know how it is. I mean, I got my ballistas, but it comes in through the window and not the rest of it, which is why I got all those barricades by the windows, by the way, now. And, so I ended up getting into a big old scuffle with it, and it bites my arm a couple times, and after that, it's been hurt. It shouldn't be infected, though. I mean, that should be all fine. I mean, at least I got a lot of meat now. I mean, I had a lot of meat before, but now I got even more meat to cure, and that's always a good thing. And I got a nice, good old trophy, and he's continuing on, and he's motioning, towards like a barrel, and then eventually, like motions towards like his hunting trophies he's got around, and then eventually he gets to. Yeah, go ahead.
They just kind of pipe up. So, what do you want us to do?
Yeah, just get into that. 1 second. I just got to show off this here guy. I mean, look at this one. I mean, like, look at him, and he's kind of like poking, a rather large wolf's head that he's just mantled over his fireplace.
I am definitely seeing where this is going.
There's the big old sucker that came in through my window and started trying to get to me, but. Hey, Jakovich is always ready, and he kind of like pats his oversized hunting knife over on his side.
Boo boo, bite them.
But yeah. What I need you for? So first of all, I don't want these windows anymore. I already had something come through. Not safe. Don't want the windows. Just replace it all with stone. Second of all, fence definitely needs to be fixed. I would say build it higher, but didn't help last time. Won't help being higher this time. As for the wood, yeah, I definitely need. I definitely need the wood for first of all for them their barricades. I wanna barricade up more of these things. Second of all. In the scuffle, I ended up going upstairs at some point. It chased after me, so there's a lot of damaged stairs and flooring and a couple walls too. I mean, we knocked through 3 walls at one point. I mean, you know how it is. You end up doing a nice little charge scuffle, and tries grabbing you, and you ram it through a wall or two, and then it rams you through a wall.
They're going to use their mind sphere.
All right.
Oh,
I'm fairly certain this man's a werewolf.
Oh, I know he is. Absolutely. They are going to use the basic charm in order to give him the very simple request of let them get to work.
All right. Does he like get a save on this, or what's?
Okay, I believe if I understand how this sphere works, lesser charms are at will abilities, but you may not target an individual creature more than once in a day with any individual lesser charm. So I'm just trying to use the the lesser charm. You may plant a suggestion in a target's mind, which they obey as if the thought had been their own. Will negates. The suggested course of activity must be limited to a sentence or two and must be a very simple request. The creature performs...
Oh, sorry,
the creature performs the suggested action until it finishes, or for 1 hour per caster level, whichever comes first.
Alright. And what's the DC he has to hit?
No idea.
Oh
Can never
my
remember
god, Jack.
my-
You have attempted to get Jakovich to stop talking, and I'm just gonna let you know he just rolled a 27 to ignore that.
I am pretty certain that's higher than their than what they've got.
You have attempted to get Jakovich to stop talking, and he rolled a nat 20.
Have fun!
Slowly withering away into skeleton.
Jankovic wasn't told to stop talking. He was just told to let them get to work. He can still talk while they work.
Yeah, which is what he's going to do. But I don't want to keep it too long. I mean, I got damage on the second, third, and probably the fourth. I think I threw it into the ceiling at one point, and I think it broke something there. But yeah, moving on. I got three floors in the house that need tending to. I got I want these windows gone. I want all that. But go ahead and get to work. But I mean, if you wanna sit down, have a meal. I mean, I don't really get people out here too much.
Oh no. He used the Marten's ultimate weakness.
Food.
Later, after the work. And they're turning off, they're putting into both Randy and their own heads, just a complete tune out, basically hitting mute.
Yeah, they're clicking an actual mute button.
And,
but only for him.
Yeah, but Jakovich continues on, and you can literally see his mouth moving. He is just continuing to talk despite your complete lack of reaction and response.
Okay, so you should no longer be able to hear him, and you can also think what you want to say to us.
Well, Randy is just busy, looking relieved as he's pulling out tools.
So, you want us to knock out the windows first?
Yeah, go ahead and do that. I mean, yeah, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna measure the holes that are in the walls here, so that way we can also patch those up pretty fast.
The twins are gonna set to. They're gonna look at the windows, see if they are, any that are undamaged. They're going to try and carefully cut out of the wall. But otherwise, they are just, destroying whatever is there.
Yeah. So there's a total of 2 windows that are smashed in. And there are 4 others that are perfectly A-okay. Well, specifically, one is smashed in and one is smashed out.
There's one part of all of this that I missed. What was the monster that he was battling with?
Oh, definitely a werewolf.
Ah.
Yeah, almost definitely a werewolf, but he just said it was a wolf.
There's a slight chance it might have just been a wolven.
But he got bit.
Oh, just in the arm. But he's got it wrapped up.
Yeah, he's 100% a werewolf.
He's definitely a werewolf.
And now I want the twins to get bit to have them, become werewolf Martens. I did not know that I wanted this before, but now I do.
I think I know one of Zim's next commissions.
I do have a were-saber.
Due to their extreme mental power, they're actually able to maintain control even during transformations. But also due to, what they are, they just look like puppies.
No, they become Wolverines.
Oh no!
No. Even better, they go from Martens to Yorkshire Terriers.
No, you're both wrong. You're both wrong. They become honey badgers.
Remember that one episode a long time ago when Timber was turned into a Marten? Basically that.
If there's one thing that was definitely amazing that came out of the whole construction worker arc, it's that Jakovich was here the whole damn time in case you guys went off running into the woods, and now he gets to actually show up.
I remember the name, but I don't remember if we've actually seen him yet.
No, he was mentioned once, and then that was it.
We were told about him.
Okay.
I do not remember when he was mentioned.
It was a while ago. He'd been on Verlago for a while.
If you don't remember, that means it worked.
But yeah, the twins are going to try their best to salvage anything that looks like they're kind of assuming that glass is valuable, mostly because it's shiny in its own way. So they're going to try and salvage it for Randy.
All right. So, yeah, you got 4 windows that are good, 1 window that was smashed in, and 1 window that was smashed out.
They're going to unmute Jakovich just for themselves. So, did you kill whatever attacked last night?
Yeah. By the way, the moment you unmute him in the middle of one of his sentences that, he was.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
You unmute him and he goes, it's a door with my whole, my late aunt's silverware, but it ain't too bad. I mean, it's still pretty nice. They got shoved all. Oh, what was that?
Did you go kill whatever attacked you last night?
Oh yeah, I mean, I got it good. I had to get it a bunch. I mean, it only got my arm twice though, but it's fine. I wrapped it all up. Poured a bunch of whiskey on it. Should be fine. I mean, got its head over my mantle now. I also got a bunch of the meat in there. Just I haven't had a chance to really work it, but I was planning on hitting it with the smoker today. But I got company here, so I can't.
If you killed it, then what jumped out of the window?
Oh no! You see, I didn't kill it in here. We went up a few floors, down a few floors, and then I tackled it out the window one time, and then we fought out here. That hole over there, that was caused by
mute.
He would be the man who tackled a werewolf. Also, wait, that means he killed the werewolf, which means it would have reverted, right?
Maybe.
I'm just saying that. I'm just saying what.
Werewolf.
I'm just saying whatever meat he has in that fridge, Gar might be interested.
Well, Gar's interested in meat, period.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah. So there are so it's very specific. It's very specific, but there are werewolves in Pathfinder that don't revert.
Ah. You unmute him long enough to ask a question, then mute him again.
Yes.
Yeah. You think he was gonna stop? Every time he unmutes him, I'm gonna keep going. It's Jakovich. He's gonna keep going.
I love this guy already. Shade that he's gonna turn into a wolf soon.
What do you mean shame?
Well,
Yeah, what
here's
phase
the
of the
thing.
moon is it?
If he turns into a wolf, then it's gonna be the same thing. It's just gonna be.
Tanya, no.
I fail to see how that's a problem.
He's gonna turn into a husky.
Martin's mentally communicate.
Oh no.
Also, current phase of the moon is first quarter.
That's waxing or waning.
Waxing
First
crescent, I
quarter,
believe.
waxing. First quarter is waxing.
So,
So
like,
waxing crescent.
No, waxing crescent, then it's first quarter, then it's waxing gibbon. Or gibbous.
Ah,
Gibbous?
okay.
Gibbon?
Gibbous. It's gibbous.
Yeah. No, so
So-
it's when it's like half.
Okay, so you call it first quarter. I call it waxing half, but I mean that works.
Yeah.
so out of character, it is not the time for werewolves to do their werewolf thing.
No.
Like a
Out
weekend.
of game, this happened to him obviously like about a week and change ago. Well, not more than a week and change, but it happened to him like a good while ago. And after that, he's just been trying to get construction guys out here to fix this stuff. I mean, he's had time to fully mount the head up like on a nice piece of wood that he worked and everything. As well as he's had the meat curing in the barrel for a while.
Well, if it happened like a week and change ago, that's closer to a new moon.
Well, that's why I said it actually happened more. The week ago was around when the undead started showing up, which was a different issue.
Like at best, maybe it's like a lycanthrope. Maybe it's not a werewolf, but it's like
Oh no, werewolf is a lycanthrope.
Basically, I think where Moriarty's going with that is like they can freely change whenever.
Oh yeah. So if the one that attacked him was natural, hint, yes, they could do it whenever the hell they want.
right. Yeah.
Either way, the twins don't know anything about werewolves.
So they
I
have
just know
no
that-
idea that they're in danger.
What do you mean they're in danger? They literally just pick up the werewolf, hold it in the air, and they can literally do that until the sun comes back up.
Timber, the twins are doing heresy again.
Out of character, I want them to get bit because I want little Martens.
Oh my god.
just imagine. Just imagine.
This is
two
you getting
little
back at me for
ferrets.
trying to turn. Go on.
Just imagine two little ferrets sitting on their hind legs with their two little paws raised in the air, floating a massive werewolf that's just constantly twisting and turning in midair.
So
Like,
this
it's
is
like you
revenge.
walk in on some sort of weird ritual, and then both of them just turn and look at you slowly.
The
We
rolling
have a
log.
This is why I
doggy.
crusade. This is why I
But no,
crusade.
this is you getting revenge for me trying to turn Moriarty into a vampire, isn't it? Now you have to be a werewolf.
Ah, yes, that's how I counteracted. Werewolf Moriarty.
No, that's not how this works.
Anyways, back on track.
Yes, back on track.
So one
So you
nice,
had your question answered.
yeah. Well, one nice thing about them is that all the rocks and stuff they can literally just hold in place in the positions that they're needed. So you can just slather in all of the mortar and such.
Well, the way that he'd actually want you to do it is it'd be just above. He'd glue down all the mortar. He'd tell you to put it down, and then it'd splat, and then he wipes off the mortar that squished out, and then put it on top of it, and then continues doing that.
Well, that's how they will do it. One of them helps him with that. The other one probably goes and starts looking at everything else in the house to see what else they can do.
Yeah. All right. Well, so the inside of the house, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
I will send Caterpillar.
All right. Caterpillar is in the house.
The dice are not with me. The dice are not with me.
Today.
But I mean, at least I still got a massive freaking bonus to it, so...
Yeah. Yeah.
The reason you're getting so low rolls is you were using them earlier when you didn't need to with us.
Yep.
Caterpillar is having fun as he's going along. The reason why the roll is so low is that he's unmuting and remuting and unmuting and remuting and unmuting. And just getting a little bit of a chuckle off of, Jakovich randomly, his random nonsense.
Yep. I was really
Sounds
hoping
like
that people find their way here without the twins to do this, so I got to just keep going. Because I think you've realized that by now I legitimately can just keep going with Jakovich.
Oh yes, they're enjoying it.
Yeah. So, Jakovich, every time you unmute him, it's like a completely nonsense part of whatever he was talking about because he jumps around so much. And you never keep him on long enough to gain context. So you just keep getting these really weird nonsense phrases that he's saying that just there's literally no context and you don't want any.
I don't know. The twins... Right now they're having fun with the mute-unmute thing, but they're actually kind of intrigued.
Alright. What are they being intrigued by?
The random nonsense that he's talking about.
Oh. Yeah, okay. So the inside of the house, the first floor is mostly cleaned up except for some glass shards and a broken chair. Notably, the broken chair is nowhere near the dining table. And this was a dining table chair because there's one missing from the row. So somehow, dining table chair got broken over here. The second floor, however, is an absolute fucking catastrophe. There's no less than 2 to 3 walls that have been completely knocked out. So, you can see from one end of the mansion to the other based on, whichever side was doing the driving, whichever side got driven through the wall, it didn't matter because it was in a straight line anyway. There's, all this fancy, obvious, chitsy shit that is, laying smashed all over the place, even including some porcelain. That, it looks like there was a fine china cabinet that got thrown down on top of something. And you could tell because the thing was cracked in half. In addition to that, it's just, an absolute mess. I mean, there is absolutely nothing salvageable on this floor. Almost every bit of furniture has been, basically smashed to bits. On the third floor, it's not quite as bad, but there is a you remember him talking about how there might have been damage because he threw the werewolf up into the ceiling at one point?
You've admitted it's a werewolf!
Yeah, I admitted it. I already said it was a werewolf.
Yeah, he said hint, hint.
Hint, hint. Yeah, I already said it's a werewolf. I literally already admitted it.
This guy's fine. Badass if he can solo a werewolf.
And which he described as, some probable minor damage. Yeah, no, there is an entire hole where obviously they got thrown clean through.
So this is going to be a multiple day project.
Or will it?
True. The twins are very capable at helping out on that stuff.
I was about to say, there's no way this lasts.
Can we fix it? Yes, we can.
And then the fourth floor, it looks like it was mostly just like a little bit of the best word for it. It seems like, you know, one of them got thrown up into the fourth floor, and then the next one, like, you know, followed up after them. They went through a couple things and then dove back down through the floor and continued fighting.
He got the manual elevator.
I am starting to get more and more scared by Jakovich.
Well, are you a werewolf? Then you're fine.
I think the Zim definition of fine is if he becomes one.
Yeah, that's the only time that I'll consider myself as fine. Yeah.
Well, okay. Sorry, Kerr. He isn't fine.
Kerr?
Did Kerr go to sleepies?
Kerr! Oh.
I think the
Zim
Kerr
prefers you to call him a snack.
Anyways, that's the state of the inside of the house. It looks like there's another floor.
Paul, I'm gonna dip your chicken nuggets in ketchup.
Oh, that
Yeah, he's
actually
gone.
is that is a severe crime to him.
No. I'm going to dip them in mayo.
Mayonnaise.
No, and dipping them in anything is a crime.
Bold of you
I'm
to
going-
think I won't eat a chicken
I'm
nugget
going-
covered in mayonnaise.
I will blend mayonnaise, ketchup, and ranch. And I'm going to dip all of the chicken nuggets in that.
Oh, fry sauce.
Ranch.
Yeah.
Except for the
Make
ranch.
it
I was about to say, yeah,
fry
also you just made fry sauce.
Yeah, I was hoping that you wouldn't recognize the ingredients and you'd be offended.
Alright, continue.
Yeah. So that's the state of the inside of the house.
I'm currently moving a bag of drumsticks from the freezer to the fridge. You've inspired me.
Caterpillar's going to send a question down to. I'm guessing Jakovich is just following Caterpillar around.
Oh no, he's outside right now.
Oh, so
There's
he's
two
with
people to
Bobcat.
talk to out there. Yeah, there's two people to talk to out there.
That's fair. Caterpillar's calling down to Randy. Do you want me to start clearing up the broken parts? And he just sends a mental image of everything.
You can like, you know, you're not there, but you can like kind of feel Randy deflate a little bit, and then just kind of go, yeah, just get it out of the way. Just push it into like, you know, the corner or something.
And Caterpillar's gonna start doing that.
All right. So yeah, you've got you now have multiple piles of like absolutely decimated furniture, wall bits, general just wood of stuff that you're not actually sure what it was supposed to be originally, but it certainly isn't now.
Is there anything in those piles of debris that might be interesting to them?
There's broken bits of like pottery as well as a jewelry case that got absolutely decimated in the scuffle.
When you say decimated, what do you mean?
I mean, it looks like something had its head shoved through the center of it.
How big is it?
Okay, so you know those, like if you put your arms out to, like, about your shoulders and then widen it a bit more, like, you know those jewelry boxes that are like that big and, all that, and like they're really nice, and they've got, like, the opening and closing thing. Now imagine someone took that and shoved it over someone's head with a hammer blow, and the head went through it. So, like, the sides are okay, but, like, literally through, like, the bottom middle and the top middle of it, it literally had a head shoved roughly through it.
Perfect. They're gonna disappear it into their bag.
Alright.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Well, no, there's no one there watching him. What is he sleight of handing? He could roughly, like, try shoving it in sideways and, like, jump on it multiple times, and Jakovich wouldn't notice.
Yeah, it's going to be a little tunnel thing in their nest now.
Alright.
Alright, so adding smashed jewelry box. There. That is a perfect plaything for Marten.
All right.
For the twins. But otherwise, yeah, they're clearing out stuff. Probably, I'm sure there's lots of splintered wood and stuff. He'll ask if that should be shaved down.
Yeah. So, like, when it comes to the second floor, there's, like, a whole lot of damage. Like, they're, like, even the non-broken wall bits have, like, claw gouges taken out of them, the floor in places, the ceiling in a spot or two. There's a couple spots where, like, you swear it's, like, perfect fist-sized, like, hole that was just, like, punched right through. Not to mention, like, just all the general splintering from the scuffle. So yeah, there's a lot to shave down.
I mean, it's easy when you can just, go at it with acid.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what they're doing. Bobcats helping down in outside, and caterpillars shaving down the broken stuff to make it more easy to work with.
Yep. What would be the best thing to use for this? Just make me a regular intelligence check. $22. Yeah, you managed to, like, you're choosing all the right spots to, like, cut down on it. You're leaving, like, pretty clean lines behind that, like, like, can be easily worked around with, the wooden boards that you brought with.
The twins have a lot of experience as blowtorches.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. And so, there's all this... you're increasing the amount of scrap you have, but it's certainly going to be a lot easier to clean it up and work with it. Especially when you're taking out sections that have, like, very clearly, like, had over half of it gouged away. As for outside, just about now, you'd be finishing up, all of the holes that were in the, outside wall. Because there wasn't too many of those, because, once there's one, there's not much reason to bust in a bunch of them, but, it's not the hardest thing to fill in those. Which means that all you have left is the, removal of downstairs windows and replacing with stone, and then fixing up the travity that is the second, third, and fourth floors.
Well, the twins will follow Randy's lead on whatever he wants them to do.
All right. So, Randy's going to go ahead and measure out the exact dimensions of the windows, the window frame, still, whatever, the window hole, in order to figure out what he's going to need to do in order to fill it in. And luckily, he brought, a fair amount of stone, because he knew that he'd have to, fix the wall and do some work on the first floor. So, you have enough stone for the job. And, so, he'd be pointing the twins to, this wall, that wall, and, sort of, trying to make it so that way the, grouting on it, and the mortar is as small and unnoticeable as possible, because these are the rest of it is mostly rather nice stone that's been expertly fitted together. And the problem with this is that they're starting from a completely smoothed out surface that was made for windows, and trying to continue it seamlessly. And so it's not the easiest thing in order to make it look like there wasn't a window there in the first place, because there's a couple of half bricks of stone.
Ah, yeah, that would be difficult.
Yeah. So, most of the effort is going in to try to mask the, mask the fact that there were windows there. It's not entirely successful, but you get to show off the pure amount of precision that you can hold stones there with. And as the day ticks on, you slowly manage to fill in the window. Not the window. You slowly manage to fill in the windowsills.
They're gonna... go ahead.
I was just going to point out which Djokovic has been following you guys around for, and somehow continuously talking the entire time.
They're gonna unmute him as they get done. Only
Yeah,
for themselves.
I'm not
they'll
too...
keep him muted for they'll keep him muted for Randy.
All right. Yeah, I'm not all too sure about the meat I got going there, but it's a little bit hard because I got it all there, but on the other hand, I kind of want to smoke it to see what it tastes like. I mean, that was a big old beast that I got there, and it was right tough. So I mean, my mom always said that when you took out something that's tough, ironically, it'd be the meat that was very tender. So I'm kind of looking forward to it, but I'm not sure if I want to smoke it. I want to make it jerky. I want to just keep it up into a bunch of steaks and just sear it all nice and good. I got a really nice family recipe for that, by the way. My mom was such a great cook. I miss being able to have her cook.
Please mute him.
I miss being able to have her cooking, but I still got the family spice recipe. It's a bit harder to find all that nowadays, especially after all that undead business.
Hey,
they sort of traveled up.
Can you share some of the recipes?
Oh yeah. Okay, so here's the trick about the ribs, because the ribs are always a little bit tricky, but it's a favorite for a reason. I mean, family secret rib recipe. So. It may seem like a lot of work, especially if it's stubborn. Oh, there goes Timber. especially if it's stubborn. But you know, you really got to take the skin off of the back of the ribs off in order to make sure the meat's really tender. And then if you get a nice good old spice rub going, you smoke it a little bit, and
What
you can get
spices
some
do you
really
use with it?
That's a really good question. It's a bit harder to get them all locally nowadays, but it used to be such a great thing with. What was I gonna say?
Welcome back, Timber.
Why is everyone? Everyone's fucking leaving.
At this point, the twins are going to be just asking random questions as it goes on to see what his response is.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I really recommend getting some black peppers going, mix it with a little bit of clove if you can have it. A little bit of wild garlic certainly doesn't go amiss either. I mean that
Where
makes
could
it
you
real
get
nice.
wild garlic?
Oh, so those generally grow around here.
All right, guys. I
in
guess
the
I'll
more-
see you next week.
All right, you know what? For the sake of everyone, I'm just gonna skip past it a little bit.
Thank fuck.
I think
I was
Zim's
enjoying
abusing-
it.
I think Zim's abusing the fact that he knows that I can and will do the Jakovich thing the entire time.
We just need to do what they
Yeah,
do with the we need to do what they do with all of the Rick and Morty games. Fuck, the guys that make Rick and Morty. In their games, each of the characters will have riffs that will just go on and on and on for like 20 minutes of talking.
Yeah, because I'm sure
Just
that's
need to
so
have a-
entertaining to listen to.
We have to get a collection of those for Taldarius. We just have those played in the background of something.
And then people just start unsubscribing, just leaving.
As long as it's not the bike quest.
Hey, at least I don't play when I'm a player. At least I don't play characters like Jakovich.
Yeah, thank you.
Was that the bite of 87?
Anyways, carrying on.
Yeah, so you get to ask him your questions, and without fail, every single question that you ask him, he manages to lead into 3 other tangential stories.
Oh, they are particularly having fun just leading him from one story to the next, never letting him actually finish anything.
Yeah. Which
All
he
right,
actually
Zim,
goes
so
along
rolling
with
up a
without
new
complaint.
character. Oh, the twins never leave.
Game over. Bad
Uh,
end.
Bad end.
Bad end.
But no,
Uh,
question mark? Maybe this is they didn't really need to go become God. They just needed a friend who would never stop talking to them.
I feel like if Zim has the twins try to recruit Jakovich and everyone else meets Jakovich, they
Timber would shoot him on the spot
I was
himself.
about to say they just shoot the fuck out of him.
I don't know. This guy 1v1 a werewolf. My money's on him.
Well, let's try that with an armor-clad one.
You're not a werewolf, Timber.
I'm aware of this.
Actually, no, you're not.
But yeah, so the interesting thing about leading him in through the stories, you get a couple of interesting tidbits. Especially when it comes to him lamenting his late aunt's silverware.
Well, of course, they're going to ask what happened to that.
Oh, during the fight, there was a big old scuffle. Got near my kitchen over there, and so when it came to that, I just grabbed the first thing. I wanted to grab a knife, but I kind of missed a little bit and ended up grabbing the entire silverware drawer, and then I kind of used that to batter in its head a bit. It didn't seem to care too much, but it scattered the silverware all over the place, and I don't know what's going on. I think I'm catching a cold or something. Which is weird because I've never done that, but I think I'm catching a cold or something because I feel really weird when I was cleaning all that up. But it's nice and safe back in there. A couple of them are bent though, so man, I mean, it's such a
If
shame
there was
silverware. I mean, it just it really
if there was
kills
any
me.
doubt,
She was so nice to me when I was a kid, and then how do I treat her silverware? I use it to batter in a wolf's head, and now it's all bent. And I'm not a metal worker, so I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to straightening those back out. But I'm thinking about
Zim,
you
Zim,
know,
you
we
have to manually
actually-
turn it off.
we we actually could probably fix that for you.
Oh well, if that's the case, then yeah, let's go ahead. It's right over there on the third drawer on the right at the top.
So the
you
fact
go
I like
that
there-
the fact that this guy reached for a knife and grabbed the entire fucking drawer.
so the fact that he used them for weapons, that means that craft weapons applies, right?
You know what? Sure,
They're close enough.
I'll allow it this once.
A spoon is a weapon, right?
Well, a
Is
jack of a
Mayonnaise a
an
weapon?
instrument?
Beat you to it. Ha! I beat you to it.
Do instruments of torture count?
Yes.
So Caterpillar and Bobcat are going to swap places, and Bobcat's going to work on the silverware.
Moriarty, firmly grasp the silverware.
Firmly grasp it.
You managed to fix up basically all of them. I mean, you even managed to straighten out some of the tongs on the forks.
He straightened out everything. Unfortunately, this includes the spoons. They're no longer spoons.
They are now mini spades.
Yes. They're pie servers.
Great! Now you can pay us by biting us.
Okay, look, if he really did that, he'd probably just shrug and turn them into bread cutters or something.
Yeah, this seems like the kind of guy who just goes along with whatever happens.
So, anyways, what it is? They're gonna after Bobcat finishes, he's gonna bring them out to him. Very, very happy with themselves.
Hey, look at this one. I mean, this one right here, and he reaches for one of the knives and takes it into his hands, and you can see that there's the faintest bit of smoke coming out of where he's holding it, but he doesn't seem to notice. I mean, this one right here. I mean, this one I recognize this one because it's got this little bit right here, this little stain. That one went right through that damn wolf's shoulder at one point. Came out the other side right clean. I'm not too sure how it managed to do that.
Why
I hit it
is
with-
your hand smoking?
Oh, like I said, I think I'm just coming down with a fever or something. It's fine. Now, anyways,
His fever's so hot that his hand is smoking. Okay.
That's
it's
not how
so-
that works.
No, it's not. I mean, I've never had one, so it's just kind of how I assumed it worked. I mean, you get hot, and when things get hot, I mean, they kind of start to smoke. I mean, that's sort of the point behind the whole smoker idea out there. It's smoking
Okay,
against
so Bobcat and Caterpillar once again swapping places, and Caterpillar's going to give him a look over.
So, when he said he bandaged his arm, what he really means is he ripped up some sheets and, wound it around his arm, and then proceeded to put back on, his, leathers and furs over it. So, he didn't, properly bandage his arm, he just has, sheets that he's, partially bled through. In addition to that, like there are some very obvious, like, burn marks on his hand where he was holding the knife.
So, question. If he's a werewolf now, is the bite mark even still there?
According to some depictions, if you become a werewolf or a vampire, the bite wound never heals.
Ah.
Yeah, by some depictions.
Werewolven.
Werewolven. Yeah, Timber becomes a werewolf. Absolutely nothing changes. He just becomes a slightly different color. That's it.
He gets weakness to silver. God damn it.
I use this in my work. We'll just put on gloves.
Well, now Caterpillar is very intrigued by this, and he's going to pick up another piece of the silverware and press it to a different spot on him and observe the results.
Yeah, it sort of does the same little, like, smoky bit, and if you hold it there long enough, like, a very small burn shows up.
Are you allergic to silver?
No, I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I've had all sorts of silver stuff. Let me tell you a story. I mean, like when I was a kid one time.
This is painful to listen to.
When I was young one time, I found my mom's coin pouch, and I digging through it, and like any kid my age, I tried putting like some of it in my mouth because I was curious what all this money tasted like. I mean, like everyone carries it around. Everyone carries it around all
I'm going to
day.
find this man and kill him.
You sly dog! You got him monologuing!
I'm going to find this man and kill him.
I think Zim has a new favorite character or something, because I think he's really loving Jacobin.
Okay, Moriarty knows about Nim, and I cannot remember the guy's name, but the one that just went hello.
Hello.
Every time Nim would, my character in the Wednesday game, Nim, would just be like, hello. And he'd go, hello. And they would just go back and forth like that.
He didn't go hello, he went hello.
Yes.
Well, let's just hope that Rose isn't the one that's tasked with explaining to him that he's a werewolf.
Well, the story that he tells is basically just relating to the fact that, like, he accidentally swallowed a piece of silver. So he doesn't think he's allergic, because otherwise, then he wouldn't have been able to swallow the silver.
Well, do you, you seem like you're really capable. You want to come with us on an adventure?
Adventure? But if I went on an adventure, what happened? I mean, I got all these meat barrels here, and I got, like, all this smoking, and then I got a pretty nice thing going on here.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, but we can bring that with us.
Orge to Porge begins to surge. I already showed Morsi today. That's enough.
Okay, so you see here, this bite that you have on your forearm, this means that you've actually been bitten by a werewolf. It means there's pretty much a 99% chance that you've been infected. Considering that you've been having this issue with the silver, with the smoking and stuff, I don't honestly think that that's actually a fever issue. I don't think that's like you're coming down with something. I think you already did come down with it. And that thing is, lycanthropy, which isn't necessarily the end of the world, because there are things that you can do to, like, mitigate it, things you can do to handle it and process. If you come to terms with your curse,
Loads cannon you with religious intent.
Tunnel Jackson here. I'm reinserting myself into the story to fucking end this madness.
Thank you, Tunnel Jackson. I've never been so happy to see a dwarf.
Ironic, a wolf been happy to see a dwarf. But yeah,
Crying to the door. Please save me.
what has defeated the mighty Wolven? Chatterbox Mountain Man?
He won't stop talking. I cut his head off and he's still going.
Into the Kaiser's vault you go.
You can still hear him
as
talking
for-
through the door.
No one would ever want to steal from it because he would just drive them off. Truly, he is an artifact of defense.
We really do need to move forward here.
Yeah, that's
Jesus
what I'm trying to do. So his reply is just that, you know, it'd be a shame to put in all this work into his house and then immediately leave on an adventure.
But what if he leaves on the adventure while the work is being done, so that when he comes back, it's already finished?
You're saying that, like, he hasn't seen that, like, half of it is already done and it's like noon.
Fair enough, I guess. They work fast.
Oh yes,
Yeah, it
they
turns
very
out
much
that
do.
It turns out that if you have psychic powers that let you hold something with pinpoint accuracy, much heavier than a normal human could lift, yeah, it turns out that's really helpful for construction work.
And I'm sorry, but you're giving the twins the ultimate weapon.
Someone who can talk more than them?
They can route his talk directly into people's minds.
So again, someone who can talk more than them?
Okay, so I am now evil.
You weren't before?
I'm. Oh no. Now I'm like extra evil. I'm sorry, guys. I tried diplomacy. Now I'm just gonna gunboat.
But yeah, so he's gonna cite him like getting all this.
The
work done and
Kaiser
not
was
letting him
right. Just fucking nuke him.
Timber, why do I hear fortunate son?
That'd
mean-
be because Thorn is overhead.
You know, back
It's
in Baldur's
unfortunate,
Gate
son,
1,
actually.
there was a NPC that would just follow your characters around and talk to you constantly. Just open up these little dialogue boxes. His name was Noober. Noober. And if you actually kill him, you get... That is the only person that you can kill without getting any reputation loss.
So now Jakovich is Noober 2.
Except that the twins want to keep him.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah, like, we understand that it would suck to get all this work done and leave it behind, but think of the adventure. All the things you could see out there in the world.
You know, maybe I would find a couple better things for cloves, but I mean, you know, there's still plenty of clove spots around here, though a bunch of them just got trampled by a bunch of them. They're undead. I mean, you know, there's still a lot around here for me. Not to mention, you know, like what if I'm out there and you know there's just none of those spices needed in order to make my mazel recipe. I mean, like that'd just be way too bad. Not to mention, how am I gonna hunt for fresh meat if I'm on a ship? You know,
There's
I mean, like, the
fish.
ships are great and all. Well, yeah, but there's a difference between meat and fish. There's a very clear there's a very clear line. I mean, because the same stuff that you do to meat won't make fish taste good. Because
We've
you know,
gotta-
I mean, like, you know,
We've got a chicken door.
oh,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta. What's a chicken door? I mean, you know,
We have
I never
access
heard of
to
a chicken door
unlimited
before. I mean, I've heard of
chicken.
chicken coop. What? So you got like a chicken coop on your ship, or what do you got going on there? Because I've only heard of chicken coops. I haven't heard of chicken doors.
No,
I
it's
mean,
a
you know, it
it's a
sounds pretty-
magical door that we can open and just pull out live chickens every day.
Well, I mean, how many of them you got in there? I mean, do you gotta replenish them? You gotta like, you know, throw more chickens in like every time you stop. I mean, how does that
Nope,
how
it's
does that
just,
then work? I mean,
Unlimited every day. We don't have to do anything with it. We just open the door, pull out chickens, and carry on. So plenty of meat.
that there sounds pretty good, but I mean, I'd still have to be able to find spices, and I don't know how I'm going to do that on a ship unless you're going to stop at every island. But if you're stopping at every island, I mean, I don't really see how you're going to get much adventuring done if you're stopping at islands just trying to find spices.
I mean, every
But then again,
island
I mean-
is an adventure, and every place to explore and see is part of that adventure.
You see, Kaiserun, I know why I'm here. I deserve this.
You know what? Here, I'll give it some thought here, and even if I don't leave with you this time, I mean, you're always welcome back to Relago, and especially on my, you're especially welcome back to my mansion here after I'm getting all this work done. I mean, I got you to thank for it, anyways. That it's getting done this fast. I kind of didn't like having all those holes in my walls and also the windows open. I mean, I didn't mind making all those ballista, but it's still annoying trying to source all that, and then you got to chop down the trees and get all that, which means I end up blunting my axe once. So I had to go and sharpen that axe, and it's such a shame because that was my dad's old axe. So every time I sharpen it, I mean, there's a little bit less of an axe there every single time. So I mean, it's just not the best because there's not much left that my dad had left me in terms of tools because I go through so many of them at a
Mute.
Thank you. Good God, I'm starting to go hostile on my own team.
I feel
mean,
like Zim's just trying to test it at this point.
No.
Go do that when we're not playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Well, we're not playing Dungeons and
Pathfinder or
Dragons.
something. Shit.
I'm just genuinely having fun with it.
I want to move on to the next
I'm
scene
glad you're
now.
having fun. Campaign ended.
And I won't deny that slight out of character influence. Myself. I want the potential of the twins getting bit and becoming werewolves.
It's literally you literally have to wait a long time until it's a full moon anyway.
Well,
He
yeah,
physically
that's why,
cannot fight you right now.
And don't worry, this is the donation goal, the experimental game.
that's why they want to bring him with them. Well, they want to bring him with them because he's fun. I want them to bring him with them so that way when he does transform, he can bite them. Oh, Jaffer. I don't know if this one will be accepted.
Game breaking.
Jaffer, I'm sorry, but I look, even I don't have the power to mute Jakovich.
Okay, Game Boy can influence. Scene skip.
Zim, he will tell the twins that he is, his table's always open for him, fine to visit whenever. But he's gonna do stuff here for a little while longer before he considers going on an adventure with you.
Is this your way of saying that I can't have Marten werewolves?
At least not right now.
Werewolf Martens? I definitely am really tempted to go message Mirai right now and be like, I want you to draw these two, but as werewolves.
I mean, you can always do that.
No, I can't unless they're actually werewolves.
All right. But I the only reason that I'm not talking in character is to spare the rest of your poor party.
Hey, everyone.
Oh, sure. Hi.
Hello. I've just been quiet while listening to everyone.
Oh, we were trying to call you earlier.
Oh, I might have been in the bathroom at the time. I thought I said I was stepping away for a minute. No, I was I was just going to say, I is getting very, very tired and worn out, and I was thinking about going to lay down.
Well, all right. We were just about to end the scene with Jakovich anyway.
All right. Sleep well, Kerr.
I'm sorry. Good night, everyone.
Night, Kerr.
Bye.
Night, bud.
Bye-bye.
Loves you. Oh, he left already. I am now depresso.
But you had all this conversation with Jakovich already.
All right, let's go ahead and
got
move
what
this.
you wanted.
No, what I want is for them to get bit and become werewolf Martens.
Yeah.
Werewolftons.
All abominations of the ship. Yeah, sure.
Sure, you already have so many of them.
Well, see, just think of it like this, Timber. Mentally recontextualize it. You're just running a prison. It's a labor camp. You see. You make the horrible monsters. you take the monsters and you move them somewhere else.
I take the heathens and I push them somewhere else.
Well, that's how we can tell that Moriarty is
It's
asleep.
okay.
Just a chance for a Patrick
you're just
joke.
proving to Temple that had
Oh no, he's breaking up.
this negotiating things.
Timber, like
really,
1 word and 3 is
really,
transmitting.
really
Oh.
not a
Well, that was an informative, Timber.
just waiting.
I feel like Jakovich has stolen his words at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
This must have been what it was like to mute and unmute Jakovich.
Yes,
this is a
exactly.
fine addition to my. This is a fine addition to my collection. It'll go along great with all the hundreds of other words that I have because I've been accumulating a large number of words over the years. Because that's kind of the thing that you do when you love talking a lot.
And we're going to have to apologize to the Marten twins for when Rose kills the prince. We won't be able to pick up Jakovich.
They will cry. So, anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Building a house.
Repairing a house.
Repairing, yeah. You just gotta fix the inside of the of the second, third, and fourth floors.
All right, so we are continuing on with that.
Yeah. Although I don't know if you want to specifically go out the details or just kind of say that, oh yeah, we've had our conversation with Jakovich, now we're gonna just fix things.
We can go ahead and just speed it along.
All right. And that's in that case, it takes a couple of hours still to, replace all of the floorboards, the walls, and the ceiling in the case of some of it. But you get through all of that, and then Jakovich, as a part of payment and thanks, and also like in an attempt to get you to come back and eat dinners with him occasionally, he's sending you off with a barrel of cured meat. No, this is not the wolf meat. This is elk meat that he had sitting out in a shed for a while. It's very salted.
Aww.
Yeah, the problem. I think the
Can't be
problem
the
with
were-
werewolf
the-
meat. Sorry.
They're gonna be like, we've heard so much about the wolf. Can we try some of that too?
Well, here, come back in about a month or so. I mean, I still got plenty of work to do on it. I gotta smoke some of it, also, it's not even done curing. I mean,
Oh, we'll be leaving before then, though.
Here's the problem: you can't cure werewolf meat.
But
Don't.
well, in
I
that
miss
case,
when the people got thrown into the well.
yeah, but so then he goes, all right, you know what? Here, it's fine. Just come back here in a couple of months. I feel like you're gonna be coming back here anyways at some point. I mean, like, you seem like you're wanting to come back at some point. So just come back, and I'll make sure that I got part of this barrel set aside for you, and you get to try it all.
Okay.
This is the last time I'm saving.
So
Timber's
introducing
villain
Timber to Djakovic is how we get him to want to kill the prince.
Make him completely done with life in general. All life must die now.
The Kaiser was right. It's just better to bombard him. Just
walks up,
negotiating things wrong.
just walks up to the prince, firmly grasp it. As an aside, I don't know if anyone's told you this or not, Moriarty, but you do a perfect Patrick voice.
Finland.
So,
my next question is, high or low?
Well, I've been rolling like crap today, so I'm gonna say low.
All right. In that case, due to the fact that, Djakovic has, in fact, paid out a frankly ridiculous amount of money, because even though he is rough mountain man, he is very old money. You receive a solid 75 gold as your cut.
Each, right?
No, that, general.
Oh.
It's not each. I'm counting both the twins, both the twins getting their share at the same time.
That's still like a shit ton for construction work.
Oh,
for a
I
single
know.
day's work as well. You got paid a fuck ton. Because Djakovic is rich as all fuck and doesn't care. Not to mention, you also have an entire barrel of cured, cured meat. And it's salt cured for ships because, you have a ship. So he gave you ship-ready food.
Rosalia is going to be happy to see this.
Barrel of
Wait,
meat
what is
slaughter.
ship-ready food?
Oh, okay. So, have you ever heard of stuff like salt? Have you heard of salt pork and stuff like that?
Yeah, I have to stock that crap every night at work.
Yeah, now imagine that, but it's elk.
Well, guess what the Martens are bringing? More corp meat.
Salt pork is like somebody took bacon and then removed all the joy from it.
Yeah, now imagine that, but for elk.
Okay, but
Perfect for the salty crew.
and that's
Marten
why the
twins
twins
are
are saying that I would love it, because they're refusing to understand that I don't do meat.
No, they're saying that because she has complained a lot about the predators on the ship and them running out of food for said predators.
That is a good angle on that, actually.
That's why they said that Rosalia would be happy to see it. Wow, you think so little of the twins.
Correct.
No, I think they also just don't understand that she hates meat.
No,
Not that
they've
she
accepted
hates
that
meat.
at
She
that.
can't eat meat. She physically cannot eat meat.
They
It's
don't
also
understand
protocol.
that part, but they do. They just assume that she hates meat for some reason.
Like, okay, so rabbits are opportunist insectivores. They will occasionally eat a little bit here and there if they can easily get their hands on it, but they cannot handle any large amounts. They can't handle any like having a full meal of meat of any kind, bug or otherwise.
Sounds like quitter talk.
Yeah, without the ability to
Continue.
puke, she would just be there moaning in pain for hours.
Come on, haven't you seen Beastars?
Continue.
I'm living Beastars.
Well, to be fair, I feel like we're
Like
winding
Koshi.
down anyway.
It feels like we've
Pushing
been
the
winding down
wagon.
for the past 2 hours.
No,
Act
I
like
mean,
want something
they're-
to happen.
I'm with Timber.
all right, let's keep going. Are we continuing with the twins? Or moving back over to the
you
rest?
got your day of work.
Yeah. So back to the rest.
Yeah. The reason that I was saying that though is because Kurt literally just had to drop out, so I didn't know if we were gonna continue just without him or if he wanted a way to explore the rest of the thing with him.
I mean, I'm good to continue, but that is up to the rest of the party.
Honestly, yeah, Tail Darius makes a really good point about Kurt possibly being left out.
Yeah, we should wait.
Okay, Jaffer, no, bad. I just
What?
saw what he posted in chat. No, bad.
What did he say?
That horror from Beastars has a pretty protein-rich diet, if you believe FA.
Oh God.
Do not get any ideas, Moriarty. The relationship has not progressed to that point. I can hear the face you're making.
Good.
A new subscriber. Come, steal
Hey,
yourself.
subscriber.
We are building an army.
Timber
Yay.
_ Tyrants _ Templar just resubscribed for 25 months. Pain.
All right. Well, I guess if we're wrapping this up here, then we're wrapping this up here.
So since we didn't have a chance for it to happen, I would like to point out something I was planning. Those Angry Bird missiles that Rose came up with. Notice how they're crows, which means that they can be trained to say things, and she has the ability to. Yeah. So she was going to have it be she will be having it that they say something immediately before impact when they go towards a target.
Well, the problem is that unintelligent undead cannot speak.
They're not speaking, quote unquote. They're just repeating a sound.
Okay, well, they can't do that either.
Then I'll make a clockwork device to do it, because the joke is too good.
Okay, Necrotech.
I will
Technomancer.
use clockwork, and that is separate from the necromancy, because I will not go. I'm going to be applying an artificer mindset to necromancy, but not actually go necrotech.
I was about to say, like, are you forgetting your total, like, your total internal dialogue problem you're having with Necros versus Necrotech Savant?
Yes.
So what do you want them to
Anyways,
say? Just tell us what you want
yeah,
them to say.
I have two things ready to click. I was just because Tildarius was like, "No, fun isn't allowed." So I was like, "Oh,
Fun is allowed, but literally unintelligent undead cannot talk.
it's not talking; it's repeating a sound."
Fine. All that language is repeating a sound.
Either way,
He's got you there.
that is the last thing that a target hears.
Why would they say good morning?
Because at the time that I originally made them, it was early morning, and we were potentially going to run into whoever it was that was sending all the crows after us.
Ah.
So as the morning sun's coming up, good morning!
Well, potentially. I mean, you still haven't found any necromancers. You found a bunch of paladins.
So, actually, on the note of that, I have thoroughly looked over all of the stuff for Necrotech, and I've decided that I'm going to be sticking with standard Necros. However, I will use just regular standard crafting to create clockwork devices where necessary, understanding that any clockwork that would be done would be either mundane or would rely on external sources to enchant them.
Yeah. This is literally the same decision you came to originally when you looked at Necros and Necrotech Savant. You're just reaffirming your previous decision.
Yeah, and a couple months from now, when I've forgotten this conversation, I'm going to go down this line again.
Well, don't
That is
worry,
my
because I'm
curse.
pedantic, so I'll remember.
Yes, we all know that you're a pedant.
Yeah, I am a very pedantic person.
You're a great big pedant, the biggest pedant in the room.
I don't like
yeah.
the tone at which you're saying that.
No, I know the tone at which she's saying it, but the actual words are correct.
Who left?
Timber.
No.
Timber.
He went for War Thunder.
I think he was probably getting like really frustrated for a while there. Just how long the talking kept going with the what's his name?
Yakovich.
Was it Yakovich? Yakety Yakovich.
Damn it, I was hoping no one would figure it out that I was specifically pronouncing the J, so that way it wouldn't be Yakovich for the yak yak. I was hoping no one would figure out that one. In case you're wondering, yeah, that's how I came up with his name.
Just so you know, the subtitles on the stream chose to translate that as Russell died almost a year out.
Wow.
Poor Russell. But yeah, that is the joke. That was the joke with Jakovich's name, is that like if you pronounce it properly, it's Yakovich. Yak.
All right. Anyways.
By the way, the place where you heard his name before was by the Prince.
Neat.
The Prince mentioned him.
Why did the prince mention him?
Because Jakovich needed to be paid for something, so at one point when you were waiting there for business to happen, he basically went, look, just give Jakovich his money.
That was right before I threw him the coins.
Yeah, so you heard his name from the Prince.
Yakovich is a local hero. Probably level 15.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call the stream as a whole at this point tonight, everybody. Might go longer, but I gotta go take care of something. So, thank you so much for joining us today for Ascent to Ascend Pathfinder. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, and more. There on the website, as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is because of your support that I'm able to continue bringing these streams to you all. I cannot do this without your guys' help and support, whether it is financially or just with your time. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel and keep these streams coming, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, as well as coming by and hanging out and subscribing to our YouTube. But for now, thank you all so much again for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow.